I'm excited, Jacob. We've had 3 days of competition leading up to this point, and it's went faster than I've thought. I mean, 10 duos qualified directly just from a victory royale in day 1 and 2 of the semifinals. Day 3 comes, 25 duos instantly qualify in the upper bracket, but now we're literally at the last chance to make it. The pressure is on, the nerves are active for these players, and we're starting off with an engagement already.
Oh, this is not what you want to have happen. 32 points, and he finally defends the throne. That early engagement. Vispin again, he's been the player out of this duo. Obviously, Chexi's doing his part, but when it comes down to just putting your foot down and not letting anybody cross that line, he has been a driving force for this team. So if you see them in that top 15, you have to give him a lot of credit for fights like that.
Respect on their name. I think they were at 40-something points after that elim, so they are quite a bit away from qualifying range. But another duo that's also far away, Moneymaker for 9. 8 points on the leaderboard, Jacob. 80 points potentially away from qualifying. They might even need a victory royale or just a high elim top 3. But I got faith.
Hey, if any team can do it, you know Moneymaker for 9 can pop off. They've been to the global championship. It's just all their points just came from straight eliminations as Ravage is trying to stay alive. His teammate Nova is already down. Adrix and Amos, we've seen them get aggressive when they have a huge advantage, but this time around Rapid's at least able to get the drop onto 1, but Amos is there to save the day, and that's why there's a huge strength in numbers in these early game fights, because you can go down, but that player has to reload eventually.
Sky Scroll now. Last match, they did not have to move from their drop spot. They were able to actually just build up a surge base right on top of the Reckless Railways here. Hold on to it for a majority of the mid game, and they did more than enough damage. There's actually other duos that ended up pushing them because the opposing teams were not able to do so. So hopefully they can maintain that as they're still outside that qualifying range. 16th spot. Say a good 30 points to be semi-comfortable potentially. You never really know. These are estimates that we have in mind. That's Hedra and Kirwa. Ooh, what a shot onto Axe Force. Gonna knock him down.
And his teammate isn't even necessarily on level playing field to try to go for the res, so he gets cleaned up with ease. Kirwa gets credit for that one. That's going to be their second elimination as a full-on team, and I would say it's not too much of a worry because of how much distance there is, so the player can drop down, get the reboot card, while Kirwa and Hedra are just going to continue moving forward in their own game. See him checking, see what ammo you could possibly buy from there. Scrounge together the rest of these barrels. This is where they're going to get a good amount of their metal from. If you look at their materials, they haven't really entered the stage of farming just yet.
Edge of the map, though, after those 2 elims, they have a bit more comfortability to plan their rotate, play it a bit slower, and just make sure they set themselves up for the best mid and late game possible. Conan, let's see what he was able to do. Nice little 2-tap from the DMR, showing you how quickly you can get some eliminations. That's over 200 damage, including the finish there, in just a couple seconds. And also now the opportunity to push in for that 2 versus 1 against Alexi, who does not even have any shield to work with.
This is just one of those fights where you see, again, on the minimap, multiple teams, they realize what's at stake and realize how hard Surge is to get in a straight-up fight. So they're trying to capitalize while this team, and there goes the capitalization. Conan just gets beamed by Seb. And you can see Forzen just taking another angle. Even though it's 2 teams down there and they're the 3rd team on top, they have a huge advantage due to their positioning.
Now it's 2 duos and a solo. The ones with the HP and shield advantage is going to be Seb and Forzen, but Conan and his duo quickly enough are healing up, I believe. Yeah, almost back at 200 effective HP and shield. Shots being applied from the side. You don't even necessarily need the eliminations here. You just want to do as much damage as possible. But if the opportunity opens up, you might just have to execute onto it exactly as Forzen's doing here. Just one more shot needed to connect. Hits the player, gets the knockdown. And now it's 2 solos that are in this area.
Yeah. Great scenario for them to be in, separating 2 different individuals from 2 different teams. Give them the choice if they want to try to engage on the one or the other. We can see one of them's already making that swim down low towards Brawl. There's Battlegrounds. Meanwhile, I was going to say a 3rd party, but at this point, it's a 4th party team on that mountain's edge looking over to see what shots they can get themselves.
Force and Seb now pretty happy with their elimination, as I believe they're going to start making their way towards not necessarily the zone as they're already in it, but kind of the position they want to be in to open up opportunities for even more tags, because you can never have enough damage dealt in these matches. Vortex, Belusi. Haven't seen as much of this duo as I would have liked today, but now it looks like they're almost in zone. They're trying to base around this bunker here. And I mean, all it really takes, Jacob, is one solid late game, one victory royale even, and it could be enough points to qualify you.
Yeah, it's just hopefully you can handle the pressure knowing that it is going to come down to this one last-ditch effort. And you see, because of that, they're quickly rotating on towards the zone, trying to find their position as fast as possible. And you see 48th place. But they put themselves in the position that a lot of teams have felt all weekend long. Win and you're in. But Trulex and Chicho, they're trying to make up for lost time. Not the best upper bracket experience in the world, but definitely making up for it here in the first 2 games of the day. Trying to go 3 for 3 and get their spot in that top 15 locked up.
The amount of third parties we've seen come out, though, in these early games. I mean, you just go for a bit of surge, and then the shots is just opportunities for other duos in the surrounding area to play even more aggressive. Trulex, Chicho, not much to lose with 114 points, and on the contrary, everything to lose for Vortex and Belusi with 0 points. One duo doesn't even need to make it to the late game, and the other one needs the victory royale. 2 very different positions to be in.
And just that persistence from above. Not even really wanting to put the risk, but Belusi peaks at the perfect time. Tags up Chicho, who wastes no time trying to get the shields back on up. Nobody really knows how long a fight like this will take. So you want to make sure that you're strong and capable of any turn. And there's really... Well, this fight is going down. There's another team moving in for the north. There's 2 other players just east of them fighting for that bunker. So you're seeing with the last game on the line, there's so much to fight for. Surge, loot, and just simply getting those points and taking one more team out of the lobby.
Diox Cade put into trouble now. Threats in the surrounding area as Marius knocks down Diox. Cade left alone. And that's exactly how Marius and Sangold were able to pick up 2.
Still finding a way to come online. That's what we kind of know them to. Wouldn't be exciting without it. Trulex and Chicho still being that nuisance. Just tagging up Belusi, cracking those shields yet again. And they're still that team that originally were right below them, rotated on the other side. But with the damage that they've got onto Belusi, they're just going to continue to follow in those footsteps. Just like you mentioned, they basically got their spot on lock in the grand finals, barring any huge missteps, mistakes, or honestly huge successes by anybody else. So they're feeling comfortable. They're feeling the freedom to be able to fight like this. So even if they do go down, they got nothing to worry about.
Yeah, like we said, they really have nothing to lose, so they're really just making it very difficult for Belusi and Vortex here. They're not even really pushing them. They're just constantly taking shots at them from multiple angles, using their materials, making sure they can't make it to zone. I mean, if I'm Vortex and Belusi, they might just have to make a decision to completely go for the engagement. They don't have enough mats to run away. They don't even have enough mats to build up and fight, so... I mean, they're going to try and just head back into zone. There's not much they can really do here.
Yeah, they got to go kind of backtracking their steps, get a lot of that old loot. Bunkers are opening up, and the team that was originally fighting over there has left it as Chicho just takes a huge shot to the face, kind of stops him in his steps. Good thing Trulex has a pocket full of bananas, so they're not going to waste any time getting their HP back on up, and they're going to go on that chase, and because they're going to chase him on over, they get 2 options. They get those eliminations, and if they do, they get the bunker as well.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting battle. The Storm fight. We'll see how it pans out. But for now, Sky and Skrull grouped up together. Edge of zone. Long ways to go for the rotation for 9 close by. Taking a look back at this bunker battle. Trulex, Chicho putting the pressure on. This one's going to end. And one of the duos being eliminated here. There's no other option.
Yeah. I think Chicho does have some splashes, but I don't think it's really enough to take a very, very prolonged fight. And they're cornering them. They're just pushing them further and further back into the corner. You're seeing Trulex and Chicho being very, very careful not to overstep their boundaries. And this is where the mind games come in. Trulex and Chicho can easily pretend like they're disengaging and wait at the entrance. There's only one way in, one way out, and realistically, you have to go through Trulex and Chicho.
See, Trulex was crouching away, trying to avoid them, hearing those footsteps. Like you said, they don't even know where Trulex might be. But Chicho is going to hold his ground, and Vortex and Belusi have to push him.
And he's getting that wall on the other side. This is going to be a good risk for Chicho, but it's not too much of a risk considering the situation that they're in. Lucy and Vortex on the other side, they're the ones who have everything to lose in a situation like this. I know it's dangerous, but I feel like if they have no HP, I would love to see them try to just rush their way there as quick as possible as Trulex backtracks with the Flowberry Fizz to try to reunite with Chicho. But a huge beam as Vortex is just trying to flank. Is he going to be able to get it off? Yes. Woo, I was just as worried, Takata.
The bandage put to good use, but what are we even watching right now, Jacob? It's probably the longest fight we've seen in the semifinals as Belusi's hunting for anything that he can use to heal. The Flowberry is only going to give him shield as he pops one for a bit of mobility. But with no bandages, no med kit, no nothing in sight, Belusi's going to get knocked down.
Yeah, he knows it. Tries to get closer and closer to Vortex, who has that 30 HP. It's going to be a huge revive train just to get out of this situation. Trulex and Chicho, they're the ones that were holding them back. You see them rotating on in the distance, but they were in a much healthier spot. And Trulex left that fight early to find even more heals, thinking 3 steps ahead of the game, knowing the situation him and Chicho were in.
Shimoki Wheat now 22nd place on the leaderboard. Looking pretty healthy in terms of basically everything materials and loot wise. They are on the edge of zone, which opens up more opportunities to get tags, but also to get staggered behind and have more difficult of a rotate later on in the match. But as long as they're able to stay consistent here and do a bit of damage, hopefully they can secure a solid placement to finish it off. Marius and Sandguild, on the other hand, already at 84 points. They really just have to secure a bit more placement points, so they really do not want to put themselves into any danger here.
Yeah, and you've seen a couple of these teams that are just inside of that bubble, already down, already out. Just got to sit and just hope that everybody below them gets eliminated before placement points come in. Not really have a chance to catch up. It's Kiduo. Him and Cheatin' are in such a good position in that last game. 56 points, though. They still have some more room to improve. And Kiduo, he has to be up for the challenge. He is going to be by himself. Luckily for him, they were able to get at least one of these 2 players down, so it is just going to be a solo on the other side.
4 points. Needs to clutch it up for the Victor Royale almost here. Kiduo as well. Out of qualifying range right now. Both players need a big match, and both players have to do it as a solo. But Kiduo is going to get taken out here, even with the medallion. This would be an insane clutch, Jacob. Medallion in hand, mythic shotgun, full materials, and potentially a reboot coming through. Gets cracked, though. It's going to be difficult.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. They were watching that fight. They saw as the coin had gotten dropped. And they're closing in on the distance. I don't know if Ricky and his teammates see all of this happening and hear the reboot at the very minimum. This is when Velry, Firehunter are starting to enter into the mix. They know he has the dash medallion and they want it for themselves, especially depending on where they're at on the leaderboard. But he's quickly moving, he's grooving, trying to get out alive. But they're hot on the chase, on those heels, not wanting to let him survive. Whether if it's down a layer or up a layer, he's going to meet his demise. But it's actually a whole nother team who gets credit for the elimination, and they're forced into fight after fight here.
Medallion has been taken once again. Now a duo has it in their hands, so this is huge for them for this late game. 72 points on the board. They just need to stay up a little bit longer here. Gonna kind of wait here, I would assume 13 seconds till next zone appears. They have those dashes, so the rotation should be a bit easier for this duo.
Some have an easy road, others not so much. Astro and Art Skill, they're trying to take advantage of this team while they can, because it's not just a win that they need. They need a couple eliminations on top of that. So might as well get him while you're so isolated on the other side of the map. Zone pulling away. It's going to be the best chance that they have to get these eliminations and get their game going before it's too late and everybody's congested closer together and making those fights that much more riskier. Alex is getting backed up. Rick is getting shielded. Both of them just down to just HP. Shots coming in still from 2 different angles, but they did a good job of fighting back, forcing Astral, Art Skill, a few seconds to heal up. Ooh.
One shot is all it's going to take. There it is, 101. Humble Alex getting put down. Is now Astral and Art Skill are going to continue the hunt for Rick Bohr. 1 replace, 1 shot, 24 white. It was not a big one, as Art Skill's been basically cracked here, but his duo partner should be able to clean this up. 2 elims for this duo now.
It's 4 more points right there. If they keep up the aggression in terms of elimination, it lowers the placement that they have to get. But as long as they have a low amount of eliminations, it kind of forces that win scenario due to catch up. Bad Sniper and S double. Very similar position, but just not as bad. They have a 34-point cushion. 4 of those points coming from that elimination that SS double was able to achieve so far. And you can see that they're just immediately just trying to go deeper into zone. They're kind of playing that passive route because they're not far down the leaderboard like some of the other competitors in the lobby are.
It's funny because unlike the top teams, a lot of them have gone down already, knowing they're already basically secured their spot in. Axe Force and Clownski with a double chain of Hades, but is it actually going to work out? Just 5 HP. There's no way, right?
Wow.
That's crazy. Lucia. Poor Lucia.
Sometimes you just can't focus when you're just getting tossed and turned upside down.
Thrown around the room. 2 elims now, though, for this duo.
You see on the outskirts of the map, zone continuously moving towards the north. That's going to force a congested side eventually on that southern edge, and you're seeing a lot of the teams stagger themselves. They don't even see the edge of zone just yet. Adrix, Amos, 12 points so far. I believe that elimination was kind of stolen away from them. That was Akira who went down. Leaving his teammate by himself, which isn't too much of a worry. You see the 3 medkits, 3 splashes. With zone pulling away, there is a realistic opportunity for him to get Akira back into the game.
Realistic, but not easy. As Adrix is getting chased right now. Or actually, no, he's not. I believe the solo that's in zone is still staying there. So they are going to be able to group up here and figure out which rotate they want to take. The Flowberry, they should be able to make their ground pretty quickly here. They even have bananas if they really have to resort to it, but so far so good.
Floki and Vox high up above, 270 damage above the threshold as well, but only 14 points. As soon as 5 teams go down, those placement points will begin to start to set in. With every team that goes down, you get more and more for your efforts, which is why you see such an importance onto Storm Surge. It's these couple of zones that we see passing before us where it starts to turn on and you realize how above the curve or behind the curve you actually are, and it puts you into go time.
Storm Surge base not actually in the zone, so they are going to be forced to rotate now. Robin Ju, 289 below. They need more than just a few tags here. They need more than a whole elimination. They need 2.
Gee, they're ready to go. Speaking to the cone, getting information of where these players are going to rotate into. Tries to drop on top from above. Unfortunately enough, they're not able to find it just yet, so they have to continue to go on the hunt. A couple of shots are going to be landed. That's going to help them in terms of surge, but it is going to activate now with still 223 damage to go. Plenty of heals split between the two. More loot down below, but it's a decision with only a couple people needing to go down. They might make, and there's some good shots on the weak, but still, you said it yourself. 1 elimination might not even be enough. How about 2? Because they are still 100 below, taking damage now.
51 players up, though, as the clock keeps ticking. How many battles are going on for Storm Surge right now as they're starting to lose a significant amount of HP? Ammo close by. They have spare flow berries. They can use the tank, but how much longer are they going to have to tank?
Especially with somebody peeking through, you got to imagine. Amos is probably down on Surge just as well, but he's scrapped together the rest of the loot that Robin and Ju were trying to save for a later day. 89 below the damage threshold. This is where they're going to try to make that rotation. They got so much distance to cover, knowing I don't think out healing it is going to work. Quickly tries to bob around. Other players are rotating simultaneously, and this is his opportunity, or at least this is what he feels like is his best chance to get the damage needed.
Once again, Flowberry coming through. Still 196 below. They have used a significant amount of the whole lobby's shield, basically, to tank this. And now I think they're quickly realizing that. And they're going to go look for a bit more damage.
Yeah, out in the chase for Twy. He quickly turns around and lands a good shot onto Robin.
Oh.
And the tables have definitely turned. Twy's going to take down Robin. I feel like maybe he reunited with his duo or something. I don't know how he was caught off guard, but Ju as well tries to dash his way in. Storm Surge forcing the hand of a lot of players to make decisions they don't normally want to make.
Kaido now in the pressure as the chaos is surrounding him. Even the storm ticking, 193 below. You can eat that banana, but you're gonna need more than that. Trying to see, he has sniper rifle in hand, looking for some quick headshot, a quick peek, but cannot find any options.
Oh, this is just terrible. Back-to-back teams so far below the damage threshold. Trying to out-heal it. Bigger gap of players do need to fall, but there's one way to try to turn the tide. Snipe shot's gonna connect, but it's not enough. And they're continuously still falling down. No opportunities really presenting themselves, but as the zone moves, this is where players are gonna rotate. And hopefully they can start to land those shots because they are playing so well up until this point. 74 points to Kata. They are outside of the estimated bubble.
This could be a tragedy, but also an insane clutch.
I'm here for that.
With only 39 builds, well, 39 wood. It's only 3 builds. Almost 4, but not even that. After just 3 below. Doesn't even need a big shot to connect here. That's a duo, though. Goes straight into the box. It's 80 blue. No crack connecting yet. Now 64. Just needs a bit of placement, Jacob. They're just on the borderline of qualifying.
Yeah, it needs about like 6 or so teams to go down worth of placement points. 12 individual players. Even when one falls, still don't get the credit for that. 28 above the damage threshold. That's a lot of pressure to put on one player. No builds, no heals, barely above the threshold line, and still need a couple more points before you feel that safety of inside of the top 15.
Good news is, Zone has pulled back, basically. So if he does not go below here, in theory, should be able to hold this angle and find potential tags as duos start rotating in. Like you said, just about 14 points. Could be enough to qualify. That's one elimination and a little bit of placement now. 14 below, 12 below. It's going up and down as the 25 tag might be enough. There it is, now above. A bit of safety. A few more seconds now to crouch behind here and get as many placements as possible.
Yeah, he has no choice but to wait for all these duos to pass him up because he doesn't have builds to protect himself. He's hoping finally he's the last train in line, and that way he can dash to safety. But, oh, she gets downed out. Mo's grind is going to be the one to take him out. Marius now by himself, again, staggering outside of zone. He is below on Surge. The Marius that we know and love, he has to show up here. He has to show up now to try to clutch up some points. He's inside of the bubble, but you want to secure it officially.
Marius trying to see if he can find any shots here, as he has no more materials, forced to get dropped down. 102 points, though. He should be good. As Very up above, maintaining that height. Floki, Vox, 40 points. A long ways to go to qualify. They cannot go down now.
Yeah, with each team falling, those points are going to start to ring in, and this is the position with another one taken down. Amos, elimination points, placement points, everything's stacking up. Sky and Scroll, they find themselves 90 points so far. They're trying to hold on because they want to stamp their spot in the grand finals, but Sky with no builds, using those dashes, jumbling all around, trying to catch players off guard. While all this is going down, Pixie and Wax use it all as a distraction to steal the high ground for themselves.
This is huge for Pixie and Walks. They needed a massive match to qualify here. Sky, Scroll, gone down at 92. Might be enough, might not. Floki at 50, though. They definitely need more.
There's still a lot of placement points on the board, and sprinkle in a couple more eliminations. If you can grab them, that will be great. Doom and Icy on the other side. Well-placed game one. Put him in contention of a grand final spot, but a huge flank onto Jake Buka. Another one's going to be found by Floki and Vox. 62 points, slowly but surely climbing up that leaderboard.
Great job staying staying ahead. Just 3 builds left now, though. They're going to have to start looking back as the maps get split up. A few more builds to stay ahead. Walk still applying pressure from above. Pixie dropping down to see what he can find. 23 builds with 58 points. They might just need to win this game.
Yeah, might not have no other choice. They still need 30. They might need some eliminations on top of that. Don't know how many's left. Quick maps ain't working. X-Force Clowny trying to do some quick thinking of themselves. They have that Flowberry Fizz as they're trying to get all the information of all the teams floating in and around their current spot as Vox goes down, leaving all the pressure of the world on the Floki's shoulders, and he's so close to the bubble, he can taste it.
Floki is not qualified yet, but he is on the borderline. You said it yourself. Just one elimination might be all he needs. Gets 86. Is it going to be enough? I don't know. Pixie at 72, still up above. Shooting down, raining below as they're getting closer and closer to that qualifying range.
Top 3 situation. There's no guarantees for some of these players still left alive. The focus down from above. Pixie walks. They're trying to target him down, force the altercation. The chain of Hades comes out from Klowski, but he gets traded down. It's all up to Axe-Force. Velry's gonna fall down, try to play Disruptor. Pixie's there as well. Wax is trying to stay up above. He doesn't want to get caught in the madness just in case it comes down to a heal off. Pixie does it yet again, along with Wax. 6 eliminations and a big game win to force themselves into the EU Grand Finals.
They needed that victory royale to qualify, and they might have just clutched it up in the last match. I'm not even sure. I can't confirm anything yet, Jacob. They might just be on the borderline. What a way to close out the EU FNCS semifinals.
And there's something you said throughout the course of that game. You were mentioning it. You were reminding me. Top players were going down left, right, and center. So depending on which bottom of the barrel teams have managed to make it this far into the end game, the leaderboard could be all over the place. That estimate could be even higher than we thought before. So this is really going to come down to 3 people that could really break it all down, Sakata, and I'm ready to know who it is, man.
Yeah, I really have no idea who took it. The leaderboard has been shooken up. There are so many duos that are right on that borderline of qualifying, so I don't want to waste more time. Let's head on over to the analysts. Let us know what just happened.